I just wanna know how you feel, what you think, are you real? Through the bad and the good, you know I'll keep it real. Don't wanna go somewhere else, cause you're all that I need. And with you in my life, I don't need these streets.
Welcome, you guys, to the Kendell Doyle Show. So glad to have you back for another episode. So a quick little side note, I did not think about this hairstyle before I got on here because normally I have my hair in my face, but because this little virtual thing I got going on, it's like kind of making me seem like I'm bald, but just to let y'all know, I have a lot of hair on this head, okay? Anyway, that's not important. What's important today is I have a very special guest, Mr. Bennie Randall. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How about you?
I'm fine. You look very handsome.
Well, thank you so much. And yourself, you're a good look.
And that deep voice.
Don't tell nobody. That's a secret.
Well, so Mr. Randall, I know about his endeavor, a few things about his endeavors, and that he's a mogul here in New York City, and he's an entrepreneur with multiple businesses. But I would like for you to enlighten us and give us details about your different careers that you have for yourself.
I'm an entrepreneur, an investor, and I like doing what I want to do. I started my career in the music business a long time ago, and I started off as a roadie, you know, the person that totes people equipment and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then I became the hype man. And then from that point, you know, I figured, like, who's making the money? And then I realized the people who had that microphone was making the money. So then I said to myself, that's what I need to hold the microphone. And that's what started me on this way of being on the microphone. I just didn't know that, you know, later in life, I thought I was gonna shake what my mama gave me. And I was gonna, you know, girls are gonna be chasing me down the street, throwing stuff at me and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, oh, this is gonna be gangster, but that ain't what the universe had in plan for me, you know. I was supposed to be on the stage, but as an inspirational speaker. And that's how I became the motivator. Bennie Randall Jr., AKA the motivator, AKA the sexiest voice in America.
So you said you started off as a roadie, correct?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us who were you being a roadie for?
Oh, at that time, I started out, the very first person to give me that opportunity was a group called Afro-Rican, Give It All You Got. And I used to tote their equipment, set up their equipment. And then from that point, by the time, that was the first and only time I was a roadie, because once I got inside, I realized that there was other things I can do. And then I became a dancer, hype man. And then I grabbed a microphone myself. I still like to dance, though. I like to get, ain't no music in here, but yeah, we like to do that thing.
Okay. So I was just a few days ago, was Sunday, and it made me think of you, actually, because the sermon was about a point of no return, and I knew that I had this interview coming up, and I know a few things about, you know, your story, and it was basically saying, you know, there are moments in our life that are just like turning points, a point of no return, where you know that nothing that you did in your past will ever be the same again. So when it comes to our careers and what makes us successful, and with you are already successful, what was the point of no return or the turning point in your life that made that possible?
That is an excellent question. I think that my point of no return is when I touched my sister in a casket. My sister was murdered by her husband because she wanted a divorce. She was only 25 years old, and she wanted a divorce. And this is the same, she was my younger sister. And this is the same girl I seen came home as a baby. You know what I mean? And I know what it was, but I know that person inside that casket was not her. It was just a shell. And then that's when I began to think, and I said to myself, if this is not who we are, then who are we? And then I started to question, who am I? And I realized that we're so much more than what we understand on the outside. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And that was the turning point that I began to search for something deeper in life.
Right.
I began to search for who I was. I had to discover, like, there's got to be more than, okay, I want to make money. I want to be famous, or I want this, or I want that. There had to be something more. And just seeing her there and knowing this is not her. Something told me it's not. This just a shell she has.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go inside.
Right.
I said, wow. So I began to do a lot of self-discovery, and I got into meditation, so, I wake up about 4 a.m. every morning just to meditate, because I've learned that in order to know who other people are, you got to know who you are. And I've learned that, I have very thick skin, so I don't let outside things deter me from my vision. I don't let, I'm not moved by little things, you know what I mean? I let it bounce off. But it was that self-discovery, and then moving to New York, where I was no longer around family and that whole shebang. And I said to myself, wow, there is more to me than what I believe. And one thing I've learned, Kendell, is this: whatever we do in life has to serve others for it to truly, truly be successful. It can't just serve us. If it serves us, it's limited. But if it serves others, there is no limits. So after doing that self-discovery and finding out who I was, I realized all those things in my life that had occurred as part of my journey. I used to think I was supposed to hide it, and I realized that I was supposed to share it. And, to just go a little deeper here, my brother was murdered at age 25. He was in the fast life, so we know what that means. But when my sister got murdered, it was like, she had everything before. She just wanted a divorce. And he was like, if I can't have you, no one can have you. And it dawned on me, and just seeing the hurt my mom had, because no one wants to bury their children.
Yeah.
And here it is, my mom buried my brother, my sister, my older brother died from health complications. My father died from health complications. And till this day, my mom is just the last of the Mohicans, pretty much, and myself. And, from my immediate family. And I realized that part of my journey when I get on stage, it wasn't about shaking what my mama gave me. It was about inspiring those people when you talk to those people. Because what I've learned is that people hurt inside and they smile on the outside. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's why you see so many people, want to take their own lives, because it looks like they have everything, but they're dying inside.
Right.
So I've learned, Kendell, that you got to work on here and have it come out.
Yeah.
That's where the beauty is.
I totally agree. You mentioned that you found love with the microphone, and that was your passion, speaking, getting on stage. Is that what inspired Bshani?
Right, exactly. I found love. Yeah, I found love with the story.
Yeah.
The microphone was the tool to utilize it and get it out there, but it's the stories. Like in your life, I'm sure there's stories that you shared or may have not shared that will inspire others.
Others, right.
You know what I mean? Your whole point of even deciding doing your own show and having to make it happen your way, you know, it's one thing to have a whole team of people. It's another thing to have to do it yourself. It just, there's a story behind there. You understand? And we all have a story. And it was the story. And I realized it's the story that's our glory. And it's the glory which inspires others.
And our stories are testimonies to help other people. So
Absolutely.
explain what, can you tell us what Bshani means and where you got that
Bshani
name?
means Bennie sees his artistic nature inside, right here. BSHANI. Bennie sees his artistic nature inside.
And your logo and everything.
That we ain't playing over here. You already know. You got your logo behind you. I see what you're doing over there. You ain't even letting them try to figure out what's going on. It's the Kendell Doyle Show. Bam.
With the tool that you use, the microphone.
You better ask somebody. Holla.
So you never really answered my question.
I didn't.
My first question.
What was the first?
I wanted to know I wanted you to tell us about all of your, for those who don't know you, for those who never heard of a Bennie Randall before. I want them to know everything that you do. Probably not everything that you do.
You got about 5 days? How long is it?
Yeah, that's what I said. Probably not everything that you do. But
I'll just put it in a nutshell. I'm an investor. I invest in real estate. I invest in companies. You know what I mean? My gift of gab is, as you see, I'm in my studio right now. This is where it all started, from that microphone, me and my microphone. So I invest in a lot of things that have to do with the digital creation and content. Bshani is a Bshani Radio app. It's a podcasting network. I didn't want to just go through other people's network. I wanted to create my own. You know what I mean? So that narrative, you know, I can control that narrative, and then I can get people that I like listening to. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when you're in bigger media, they control who can come on and who can be on, and the narrative gets very limited. You know what I mean? You know, you get to control, okay, this is the type of conversation I want to hear. So Bshani, you know, you can download the free app in the App Store for Android or Apple. You know, I've always been about creating, you know, my own. I was listening to an interview with Nick Ken, and he was saying that, you know, when people wouldn't give him a chance, he would just create his own, just like when he created Wild It Out and the whole shebang. And that's my whole context. And what I'm doing with Bshani and a couple other things, I can't quite say yet until they bubble up, because I just like to throw them out on people. But yeah, I tend to invest in things that I understand. All right. So Warren Buffett was perfect when he said that if you don't know how, if you know how a company makes money and they have a good team, a lot of times that's a good investment if you understand how they make money. So I like to invest in things that I understand. And one thing I understand is creating content. And one thing I understand is that people gonna always need a place to live. I don't care, pandemic, whatever. There's several things people, and for those that are listening, there's several things people gonna always need. I don't care if it's a pandemic or inflation or crisis or whatever, people gonna always need a roof over their head. So real estate is always great investments. Number two, people gonna always need food to eat. That's why you see a lot of these delivery companies during the pandemic, you know, became very valuable because they couldn't go to the store. So the stores was coming to them or sending the food to them. Right. And number three, believe it or not, people need to be entertained. Believe it, you know why? Because people need to, you know, they need to forget about their problems. That's the reason why people go to the movies. They want to forget about what may happen when they go home, or they just lost this girl or this guy. So if you invest in any of those things, you're going to be on point. Yes.
And so that brings me to my next question. When you said that you can't really spill what's going on because you like to let it bubble up and then just put it on us.
Well, all you got to do is look at people speculate about everything Apple's going to do, but it ain't real until Apple says it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's the same concept. I think the element of surprise, that way, when you're building something, you don't want negative energy around it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of other things that we're in the process of building, me and my team, you know, and I don't want to divulge it just yet, because when it gets to the point, like they say, build it and then scream about it.
Then, so you're not satisfied with what you all the things that you have already done. You're still going.
Oh, you should never stop growing.
That's true. That's what I want you. That's why I want you to tell us. I want you.
Yes, don't never be satisfied. You got to wake up with a dream and a vision. You have a dream, you have a vision. That's why you're spending your valuable time right now on putting this show together and talking to interesting people. You know what I mean? Because you want to share it with the world. You see what I'm saying? You are the bridge for the people hearing these stories. Some people people who follow you may not follow me, but now they get to follow both. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
So you're sharing that story.
Sometimes, like when speaking of being satisfied, I know that I am very much open to growth and to keep just climbing up the ladder until I can't climb no more. Because I feel like every day that you're alive is every day to keep going and keep reaching the ideal. And that's why I ask myself, like, when I'm reaching a milestone or I accomplish something, why do I get like a feeling of what's next? You know, like when I got this going, I got this internship, or I did this, but it's like, now I'm ready for the next step. I'm not, I've accomplished all of these things, but I'm still thirsty for more. And I still want to know what else is out there, or what else that I can accomplish, or tackle. So I'm happy to hear you say that you're not satisfied, even though you're very successful. You have all of these things that you have accomplished. You're not satisfied with it.
Absolutely not. I always want to grow, and I like to test myself and challenge myself. You know what I mean? If you get to the point where you think you here, then what's your purpose of existence?
Yeah, and you're no longer serving.
Right.
You're no longer serving, and it's I be listening. I have my own podcast, but I listen to so many people that inspire me. So all I do is I just pass it on down, and I interview guests. I have guests on my show that can pass some things on down. You better
preach.
So you are a successful, not just a successful Black man, but you are Black. So,
no, really, you better hold on, girl. How you know that?
But you are Black. My dad gets mad when I start putting like labels on stuff. Like, no, you're just a successful woman. You gotta put Black on there. But that's true. I am a Black woman, and that's celebrated, and that should be pointed out. But no. I just want any like words of encouragement or advice to, someone that was like in your position, because we all started from the bottom.
Everybody has a
story. And for young Black men who are, at a point where they don't know really where to go when it comes to their future, do you have any words of advice for them?
Absolutely. Start off, what wakes you up? What makes you come alive? That's what I always tell people. What's that thing? Everybody has that thing that makes them come alive. Some people are the greatest sanitation worker in the world. Some people are the greatest plumbers. You know what I mean? You got to find out that thing that makes you come alive, that thing that you would do for free in your off time, even if you wasn't making $1 off it. Those are the things, because we are all born with a gift. I have the gift of gab. That's why I was given such a sexy voice. You know what I mean? I'm just messing with you. I'm just joking. But, you got to find out what that gift is. And when you find out what that gift is, how do you serve others with it? Usually, when you serve others with your gift, you then serve yourself. When you help people with your gift, you help yourself. So you got to find out what it is you love doing. And what you love doing, usually don't go chasing after the money, because sometimes if you chase after the money, you may get it, but you'll become a slave to it. You know what I mean? Money follows passion and purpose. So you got to have a passion for something, and you got to have a purpose for it. You know what I mean? I have a purpose of sharing my story, and hopefully it'll inspire others to say, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's the beauty, because a lot of times we don't see people that look like us in certain positions. Like, everybody doesn't have to be a rapper. Everybody have to be a dancer. Everybody have to be an athlete. You know what I mean? There's so many other things that people can do, but a lot of times we won't put the investment. And number two, I want people to really understand this. You got to invest in yourself first. When I was getting ready to build Bshani Network, you know what I mean? Prior to building it, I tried to get on the radio. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to be on somebody's radio station. You know what I mean? And right at that time when the radio stations were dwindling down because they were being bought out by major companies, those positions were going away, So, I was going to be that late guy at night, like, yeah, baby, show me right what you do, baby. You know what I mean? I realized that, okay, if I can't get...
to cut you off, but I can hear your voice on like a grown and sexy late night.
Oh, we already... Hello. And that's the beauty. And that's where I'm going to.
Yeah.
So I decided to create my own show. I have two shows. One's the Bennie Randall Show. You can download the app. And the other one is Bennie Love. And Bennie Love, that's my love and relationships, late night, girl. Just make you just make it whizzle with it. You know what I mean? But the point
that for y'all on the at the end of the show.
I'm sorry?
We'll make sure we get that for the viewers at the end of the show.
Absolutely. But I decided, let me go ahead and create my own show so that I can do any shows anytime I want. I just walk in my studio. I went and bought my own equipment, and I say, I'm going to do my own station. And by that time, podcasts and all that stuff was coming in. And I decided, and then I said, you know what? Instead of just having a whole app just for me, why don't I create something to give other people an opportunity who may not have the finances, who may not have the tech savvy that I have with my team, and allow them to stream their shows through it simultaneously and still be able to talk about what they want to talk about. Mm-hmm. So see, by me wanting to help others, it then helped me because I got to do what I wanted to do. And I own the network. And at the same time, I allow other people opportunities to have that same reach and audience, And, we got a nice little audience. We get about 3 million people listening to the app. Wow. So it's not a game. It's a lifestyle, baby.
Thank you, Mr. Randall, for coming on our show.
Thank you.
I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy that you, very busy man, so I'm so happy that you stopped by here for me.
Can I give them my website? Like who's gonna do?
No, all of that is gonna. You good?
I'm good.
You good? You good?
She said we good. Yeah, we good.
And
okay.
What you got on tonight?
What do you mean? What I got on tonight? This is this suit right here.
Yeah, what's that?
This is Bshani Custom.
Bshani Custom.
You better ask somebody.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Give it up for Mr. Randall again. And this is your host, Kendell Doyle. And I will see you again next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
I just wanna know